Pope Leo outlined his plans for his papacy on Saturday, calling artificial intelligence one of the biggest challenges for humanity. During his first formal audience, Leo told the cardinals that he was fully committed to the 1960s reforms that modernized the Church.
La cura amorevole degli ultimi, degli scartati, e il dialogo coraggioso e fiducioso con il mondo contemporaneo nelle sue varie componenti e realtà.
The Pope referred to AI when explaining the choice of his name. His namesake, Pope Leo XIII, laid the foundations for modern Catholic social thought. The first American Pope said AI poses new challenges for the defense of human dignity, justice and labor.
European leaders have arrived in Kiev as they push for a 30-day ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia. The leaders of France, Germany, Poland and the United Kingdom arrived together on Saturday, meeting Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. French President Emmanuel Macron told local media that, quote, the aim is now a 30-day ceasefire, not a 3-day truce. During their visit, they laid flowers at a makeshift flag memorial for fallen Ukrainian soldiers at Kiev's Independence Square. In March, the United States proposed an immediate 30-day truce in the war, which Ukraine accepted, but the Kremlin denied. Now, progress is being made for a future so-called coalition of the willing that could potentially deploy troops to Ukraine to police any future peace agreement with Russia.
Tariff talks began between US and Chinese officials in Switzerland on Saturday. This follows US President Donald Trump's increase in US tariffs on China last month to a combined 145%, with China retaliating by imposing a 125% levy on American goods. Now, the US Treasury Secretary and America's top trade negotiator have begun talks with high-ranking Chinese officials in Geneva. Their aim is to de-escalate a dispute that threatens to cut off trade between the two and damage the global economy. Prospects for a major breakthrough appear low, but there is hope that the two countries will scale back the massive tariffs. On Friday, in a social media post, Trump suggested that the US could lower its tariffs on China. A dangerous toxic cloud generated by a fire on Spain's Catalan coastline had left multiple towns under lockdown. However, the restrictions have now been lifted. The fire, which broke out Friday night into Saturday, began in the town of Vilanova i la Geltrú at a swimming pool chemicals factory, storing around 70 tons of chlorine. The towns of Sant Pere de Ribes, Cubelles, Cunit and Calafell are also under lockdown instructions. Catalonia's civil protection has activated its chemical risk alert, urging residents to stay indoors and keep their homes sealed. Firefighters report having stabilized the fire and managed to prevent it from spreading to neighboring industrial buildings. So far, no injuries have been reported, according to civil protection sources.
Thousands of protesters gathered in Freedom Square in the Slovak capital Bratislava to voice their objection to Prime Minister Robert Fico's trip to Russia. Fico was the only leader of a European Union country to travel to Moscow for Victory Day parades marking the 80th anniversary of the defeat of Nazi Germany in World War II. Protesters chanted, "We've had enough, Slovakia is Europe," and "Stay there," as they condemned their leader for abandoning Europe and siding with Russia. Fico said in a video message that his objective was to create a relationship of, quote, normal and friendly cooperation with Russia. Protests began in December after Fico made his first trip to Moscow to meet with Putin to discuss gas deliveries. The Slovak leader is known for his pro-Russian views. He's routinely challenged the European Union's policies over Ukraine. He's also previously threatened to pull his country out of both the EU and NATO on several occasions.